Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is starting 11 prediction time. Liverpool taking on Villarreal in the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. A chance to reach the third Champions League final under Jurgen Klopp. We're going to try and predict the team that he might put out. I think there's 1, 2, maybe 3 positions where there's a bit of an argument. I think the rest of the team may pick itself, but it's up for debate. So get yourself in the live comments. If I do something you don't agree with, if you've got a shout that you want me to try out and see whether it'll work or not, if you think I've done something stupid, just say nicely in the comments, and we'll get round to it now. Just to let you know, the build-up show is already out in case you haven't seen it already. Paul and Steve are on their way to Villarreal now, so we'll have some match content before and obviously afterwards as well, and we'll do the in-studio stuff as well as the watch-along tomorrow night for that one as well. So, I can see some people in the comments there. One is Adam Johnson, which I hope isn't the real Adam Johnson. I'm sure you get that a lot. Yeah, so I picked an 11. And as I said, there's a couple of positions I'm not sure. And obviously, there's 12 substitutes, 5 of which we can use in this game as well. So nothing is certain. But one thing that is certain is Mr. Alisson Becker in goal. Just there's no one else, is there really, at this point? Andy Robbo, I hope he's well recovered from that last gasp run against Newcastle at St James's Park. He's just running on fumes at that point. But yeah, I can see an argument for Kostas Tsimikas, although we haven't seen him a lot. Obviously, he was out ill over the past week or so. I think I did add him down to start Newcastle. Obviously, he didn't. But I think we may see him for maybe Spurs or maybe Southampton towards the end of the season. But for me, you play your best team in this game. I know we're 2-0 up, but I'm not taking anything for granted at all. Big Virgil van Dijk, I think, is the best centre-back in the world, so obviously he plays. I've gone Konate. He seems to be the Champions League defender at the minute, and obviously his goal record speaks for itself. I think he ended up getting 3 in 3. I just think with the way that we play, the pace that Villarreal have got, you play him, although last week I argued that you play Matip for this one and you play Konate because of the pace of Son and other players at Spurs, including Lucas Moura as well. Maybe he plays both, but for this one I've gone Konate. And right back is obviously Trent. Gets the day off against Newcastle, well rested. He's going to be hungry, energetic, crucial to the way that we play, particularly if Villarreal are going to press, and we can try and beat that press with some of his balls that will hopefully go towards the front 3 and into the midfield. Midfield 3, I think there's one position potentially up for grabs here. Fabinho at the base, as always. I think he's just imperious. Again, he got a decent break, came on as a substitute against Newcastle, but he gets the majority of that off. I think that's an indication that he starts this game. The other 2, I'll go for Thiago, who may be better on the right, actually. No, let's put him on the left. Thiago, because I just absolutely love him. Again, similar to Trent Alexander-Arnold, we're going to beat Villarreal. They're going to press us. We're going to look to get creativity and some balls into the front 3. I think he's key to kind of unlocking that. And not that we're desperate for goals. I'm not sure about the amount of football that he's played recently. It might lead to maybe Hendo and another one. But I think there's definitely an argument to keep him. And maybe this is a bit of me going, I want to play our best 3. So the other person that I've gone for is Naby Keita. Again, exceptional against Newcastle. Obviously gets himself a goal. Well, it's not even an issue with him actually, because I think you could argue for certain games against certain teams, that's our best midfield 3. Obviously, Jordan Henderson, I think, is the other one that runs them very, very close in this one. But I think that's the midfield that I'd like to see. Whether you need the captain of Jordan Henderson to lead our press, not Villarreal's, to lead our press, keep people motivated, make sure everyone's doing a professional job. I think maybe you do him for that one. And also, as well, actually, I got loads of abuse at the weekend randomly for a comment that I made about Naby Keita when someone said give him a new contract, and I say calm down. What I meant by that was let's just wait until the summer. Not that I wouldn't give him one. So if you're a Naby fan and that offended you, I do apologise. I didn't mean don't give him a contract. And the other thing with him as well, I think form and confidence is huge to Naby Keita. But I think he strikes me more of a player when you're trying to get at teams. And you can drive and you can get towards the back lines and play in between the lines, and again that connection for the front 3. I don't know whether he necessarily doesn't suit this game, because of course he really suits every game, but maybe just after a bit more bit more determination from Jordan Henderson and just like maintain the ball. I think you keep Naby for like a Spurs maybe. But again, I can see arguments for both. The front three, which order should we do this? Luis Diaz, because I think he's just exceptional. He excites me every time he takes to the pitch. Sadio Mane. Obviously, he comes off against Newcastle, so I think that's an indication to this one as well. Mohamed Salah, who was a youth substitute against Newcastle as well. I think arguably on form, you could argue that is our best three. Obviously, there's no Bobby Firmino, he's still out injured. I think Jurgen Klopp said he's going to travel with the squad, but he's not going to take part. You could have Divock Origi in there maybe, but again, do you save him for some latter stages in the Premier League games or maybe in the substitute in this one if you're trying to save some legs. And obviously Diogo Jota, who started the other game. The substitutes, 1 second. Okay, no, I didn't get back up then, I was worrying. Obviously 12 substitutes, we can use 5 as mentioned. So Queven Kelleher, obviously. Diogo Jota, it's quite a strong bench again actually this weekend. Jordan Henderson, who again, if you fancied him to start this game, absolutely no problems. Kostas Tsimikas, Curtis Jones, and Oxlade-Chamberlain, who was, of course, in training. So I think I'm right in saying Bobby is the only person who's actually missing for this game. Substitutes loads of cards. The other 6 are Adrian, Jimmy Milner, who was superb against Newcastle, Joel Matip, Harvey Elliott, maybe. I think the only other person I've really missed out in the first team is Taki Minamino, Joe Gomez, and Divock Origi, maybe for a Champions League outing, but who knows? Oh my God, there's loads of comments. Let me flick up a little second. Who should we start with? Matthew Mullen says Konate back with Virgil van Dijk, which I've done. Start Tsimikas for this. Yeah, in fact, there's 2 people there. Tsimikas, let Robertson rest again. Oh, okay, 3 people. I agree, we should let Robertson rest. Again, I don't think any of us have got an issue with Kostas Tsimikas starting this game, or I certainly haven't. I think some of the performances that he's put in when he's come in, I think we've always feared to be a drop-off, but I think every time he comes out of a game, the fact that he wears his heart on his sleeve, he gives absolutely everything in the games that he plays because he is well rested. The only thing I'd say is match fitness may be a concern for this one. And what I felt was when we played, it was Benfica second leg, I thought we were a bit erratic and we didn't take control of the game, having made made changes for that game as well. And it's not solely on him, but I think now we'll see maybe 3 changes maximum for each game, and he's gonna have a role to play at some point. I agree with some of the comments. Robertson does deserve a rest, and maybe you keep Robertson for the Premier League games as well, or certainly the remainder of them anyway. Couple more shouts. Fab, Thiago, Naby, Hendel will get a rest. Started the last 2, great point. Adam Johnson again, Robin needs a rest, but I think we have to go full strength. Kate over Hendo, which is what I've done. Okay, loads of people saying Robertson doesn't start. Okay, that's fair enough. Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, which I had. Fabinho, Thiago, Keita, Salah, Jota, Diaz. Okay, so you'd rest Sadio Mane, have I got that right? Yeah, so I mean, again, this is the position that we're in, and it's, again, so mad compared to last season when we didn't have any choices of, I reckon there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 changes, or 6, 7 people that are on that bench there that if they started this game, none of us would have an issue with, which is just completely fucking mental when you think about it. But again, Jota, again, recently, I don't think he's had his best performances, but he does tend to pop up with a goal, certainly cause a nuisance for defenders as well. So maybe you have one eye on Spurs on Saturday night. It's a bit of a pain in the arse because it's so close from Villarreal to Newcastle and Newcastle to Villarreal, but then we got a decent break between Villarreal and Spurs on Saturday night at 7:45, which is just daft. Neil G says the Greek Scouser in for Robbo. Okay, we've done that one. Lyle Dave says, hope Ox gets some game time. Possibly, but I don't see where. I mean, he was in training before and he looked pretty happy, to be fair, but I just don't think we haven't seen anything of him in recent weeks. So I don't think he starts a Champions League semi-final. I could be wrong, but who knows. Natalie, Klopp won't put 2 keepers on the bench. He's never down for it and won't start now. I'm pretty sure that he has done, particularly for Champions League games, when we got use of 12 substitutes. So I'm pretty sure I'm right on that, aren't I? Klopp might start Jones or Elliott, possibly. AGS, Ross Naby new contract. I explained that before. I won't repeat. My apology, but yeah. Jones or Harvey Elliott again. Harvey Elliott, we haven't seen anything of. I think I put him one of my starting 11s a couple of weeks ago. But again, it's just such a big game in that lack of game time. Do you start him? Is it a risk? Do you save him for maybe a substitute appearance in this one? Maybe there's half an hour, 20 minutes to go, and you say, well, hopefully we're in a comfortable position at that point, or at least still in the lead of the game, and you can trust him, go and put him on. Same with Kurt Jones. I think he's been in and out of the squad recently. I think all these players, as the ones that I mentioned before, everyone here has some part to play in our running, whether it's for the Champions League, the FA Cup, and or the Premier League. I just don't think you start them in a semi-final of a Champions League. And maybe it's just me being overcautious, and like some of the comments said before, go strong, go hard. If you need to, you've got 5 substitutes, just take it back and see where we're up to. Mike Wright says, Kate is in a place, I think. Yeah, 100%. He was brilliant against Newcastle. He took his goal pretty well, didn't he? So I think he'd be disappointed if he didn't start this game. AGS says, I would love Bobby for this game. Just feel like he's perfect for a game like this. Yeah, do you know what? I agree with that, actually. I think the way that he can get at the central midfield and drop deep and help out our midfield, I think Villarreal are going to play a lot different. So we did an opposition preview last week, which basically said... In fact, it was Stian Gillian Balgay that did it, and I watched it, and he said basically they'll come to Liverpool and defend. They don't play like that at home. They play quite expansive football. They get on the attack. They get forward. I think, well, they're going to have to do that because they're 2-0 behind, but I think we're going to see a slightly different game, and they're going to want more of the ball. They obviously have the home crowd behind them, but I think Bobby's, like they say, Bobby's perfect for that role of just coming out and just when you've got periods where you're not on top or you haven't got the ball, you can come back and help out there as well. Salah Div Mane from Johnny.mp3. Salah Div Mane. Okay, so that would be Mane on the left. I'm guessing Origi down the middle. Again, well, 2 things. 1, I wouldn't be shocked. And 2, I wouldn't be disappointed. With that, I think Divock Origi has kind of changed our minds, or certainly mine from last season where I was a bit disappointed in him. But he's got the team behind him to provide. Also, is he better as an impact sub? Is he better coming off the bench and playing a role there when you want to rest maybe a Mane's played 60 minutes. Okay, let's get him off. Let's see him for Spurs or maybe even a Diaz. I don't think he starts this game, so I'm going to flip it back. I'm going to go Mane down the middle, Diaz there because Diaz just tormented them last time as well. That's the midfield I'm going to stick with, and I've changed my mind on Robertson because of the comments there. So I think Simicast maybe starts this one, but I said that on Sunday and he didn't. So we'll have to wait and see. John Cahill, Naby, NFT, Naby, Fabi, Thiago midfield against Spurs. Hendo, Thiago, Fab for this game. Okay, that's fair enough. There is more at stake for trophies. The biggest trophy is at stake. The best Liverpool team ever. That's what they're playing for. Now I want Fab, Thiago, and Hendo. Okay, that's 2 shots for Fab, Thiago, and Hendo. I think maybe that's what Jurgen will do. So you've got what? Trent's come back in, Konate's come in, Simicast has come in, Fabinho's come in, Salah's come in. Hendo didn't start. Yeah, he did, yeah. So it's 5 changes from the weekend, which is, to me feels like quite a lot, if I'm being quite honest. But again, it's been a short period of time between the 2 games. It's so hard. We fancy being a football manager, eh? Bossman says Fab, Thiago, Milner. Milner was brilliant against Newcastle, but I just don't see him starting 2 games within a week. Again, we need him for other games down the league. Thegel says, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Simmy's crosses, Origi would feast. Yeah, probably. And Lyle David said, I think you've got this spot on. I think I'm happy with it. Would anyone do anything wild, anything different? I know we've had a couple of shouts of Harvey Elliott and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Would anyone start Joel Matip over Konate? I don't see any arguments in the comments over that one. Elvin Tan says Hendo definitely for the Spurs game. See, this is why it's so hard. I think it comes down to personal preference at this point. Well, obviously it does when you're picking your starting 11. Made a complete mess there before Chris shouts at me. But I think you go for a more defensive display. I think we need to soak up pressure within the first 10-15 minutes, quieten their crowd down. I think you get that with Hendo. Obviously, Naby was superb against Newcastle. Newcastle. maybe just change it up after an hour, 70 minutes. Allison DM, yeah, probably you could do that. Maybe rest Van Dijk and put Matip in. I just wouldn't do it. I would not take any risks. And I like the idea because obviously he needs a rest at some point, but I just don't see it being this game either. A couple more comments before we shoot off then. Getting Nat Phillips back from his loan to get us into the final. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? And Ollie Christian Kubovic, I hope I said that right, says we have such a great squad that there's basically nothing to discuss or be unhappy about. True. I think Jota and Keita start here and then Diaz Hendo against Spurs. There we go. Well, it's all opinions, isn't it? And I'm probably going to be wrong, even though I've changed it several times. So maybe that might be the team that Jurgen Klopp picks. I'll go Robbo and I'll go Keita for this. But yeah, I think that's what I'd do, but I'm not a football manager and I could be wrong. So keep your thoughts and comments coming underneath. We'll get around to them tomorrow and the team news. Bye, Tom. The team news will be live tomorrow with it's Chris and Errol. They're going to do the live team news, so it should be 6:45. And they'll do the watch along tomorrow night as well. And as I said before, Paul and Steve are going to be over there at the game as well. So we've got you covered for pre, during and post-match content as well. The instant match reaction, the final word. If you want more content in your life in video and podcast form, go to Redmen Plus. The link should be in the description. Go get yourself signed up. The next few weeks is going to be more stress than we can all handle. So come and share your thoughts with loads of other Liverpool fans on Redmen Plus as well. And you join as a club legend. We have a new competition, which is a signed and framed shirt from Jamie Carragher and Dirk Kuyt as well. So you get access to all our content. You get entered automatically into monthly competitions and you get a whole load of perks, including free merch, discount on merch, and free tickets to live shows, which hopefully we'll be doing a lot more of in the coming months as well. So yeah, enjoy the game and we'll see you soon. Sorry.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out that video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want even more Liverpool goodness in your lives, head on over to redmenplus.com now and sign up to Redmen Plus. You've got interviews, features, documentaries, as well as our vast array of weekly shows. So yeah, redmenplus.com, sign up to Redmen Plus now.